Hey, what's going on everybody? Ace here, and welcome back to another rendition of First Impressions. Today we're going to be talking about Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle. I'm going to say this, who the hell saw this coming? Who in the right mind saw this coming? Mario and Rabbids crossing over into a tactics-based shooter RTS thing. Who in the right mind thought this was going to be a thing? I'll tell you who. No one! No one saw this coming! And that's what makes this game absolutely incredible to me. Just, the concept alone just baffles me. I never played any of the Rabbids games, and I didn't have any interest of playing them at all. Like, the first time I saw these, I was just like, holy shit, these things are annoying. I don't like them. I was literally like 12, I think, when they came out. Maybe. To be honest, they feel like the Minions prior to the Minions. That's exactly what they were. They were the Minions for the video games at the time, and I just didn't have any interest in any of them. This is technically the first Rabbids game that I've ever played and ever owned in my life. And it's awesome! The fact that Shigeru Miyamoto and Nintendo would let Ubisoft do this with Mario is just astonishing. I remember first seeing the leak and then watching the official announcement, and I was just like, this is going to be a Shadow the Hedgehog situation where they give Mario a gun, it's going to be bad. That's exactly what I was thinking. I had no hopes for this game. And then I saw the gameplay footage, I saw the trailer, and I was just like, whoa, this looks awesome. Just the concept of Mario holding a gun alone is strange to me. But seeing him in a tactical RTS type game where he goes around and shoots Rabbids that have crossed with certain elements of the Mushroom Kingdom and even our world is amazing to me. The story actually begins with this girl. You're in her room and you find out that she invents this VR system that can combine two different objects to make something even better. She tries this by combining a lamp with flowers to make it more energy efficient, I guess, seeing as how flowers need sunlight to live, and the light, and by letting the plants live, the light lights up the room. But then there's an issue with the VR system because it has problems. It's not completed yet. So she leaves, and then the Rabbids through a washing machine. I'm assuming they either jump dimensions or time travel through that. I don't know. It's ridiculous. The Rabbids enter her room and start causing chaos. And at the beginning, I'm just like, oh, wow, this is exactly why I don't like the Rabbids. They're annoying. This is the same thing why I don't like the Minions. But the more it played out, the more I was invested in this game. Come to find, the whole reason that the Mushroom Kingdom and the Rabbids are all combining into one is because of this VR thing. The Rabbids are messing with it, and they start one Rabbid in particular starts messing with everything, combining Peach figurine with a Rabbid, making Rabbid Peach and Rabbid Luigi. It's kind of refreshing to see Rabbid Luigi outside of YouTube. Good on you being featured in a Nintendo game, man. And the Mushroom Kingdom is then transported and combined with the elements of the real world, the Rabbid world, and it gets crazy. Mario loses Luigi and Peach and everybody, and this is where the story begins, where Mario meets up with Rabbid Luigi and Rabbid Peach, and they fight off corrupted Rabbids, and it's so fun. And I think that's what really makes this game click for me, is because growing up I was really big into RTS games like Impossible Creatures, Lord of the Rings, Battle for Middle-earth. I played StarCraft, XCOM, all those kinds of games, and this just clicked for me. The gameplay is actually not as simplistic as I thought it would be. There's a lot of planning that needs to go forth, and that really makes this game actually quite difficult at times. The first few stages where it's teaching you everything, obviously you're going to breeze through. But then I found myself actually planning out my attacks, and I think that's why I did so well in the beginning after all the all the stuff, because I was actually going back to my roots and planning my attacks, and I found out like good combos, like jumping off of partners to get to other places, dashing through enemies to take off some points before shooting them. Just everything clicked for me, and by no means is this game easy. I've already said that. This game is not easy. It will get hard, and it will destroy you if you're not careful. You don't just fight enemies in this game. There's a lot of those missions where, yes, you do have to kill enemies, but there's some where you have to make it to the end of a stage, or deliver Toad or Toadette to the end of the stage and keep them from dying, because if they die, it's obviously game over. And those are the toughest ones. The escort missions especially are really hard. And I remember I was stuck on one for probably a good 30-45 minutes at the most, and it sucked. But I was still having fun. The weapon selection is very nice. There's actually quite a wide array of weapons, and I haven't gotten Peach yet in my playthrough, but from what I understand, she has a shotgun, and I never thought I'd hear Peach, or hear the words Peach and shotgun in the same sentence. Another one is Luigi as a sniper who dabs. That's okay, yeah. There's I want to say like a yo-yo weapon. It's not necessarily a yo-yo weapon, it's more of like an orb that shoots energy. I've been using a lot of the ones with blasters or shotguns. Hammers, like Mario and Rabbids Mario have hammers. Luigi's a sniper who has a little turret, not a turret, a portable bomb. I can't think of what they're called, but basically he pushes a button, this thing rolls around, explodes, kills enemies. The graphics in the game are actually astonishing to me. I'd give it a solid 9 out of 10 because just actually seeing Mario Odyssey, I know how beautiful that game's going to look, and I know how beautiful Breath of the Wild is on the Switch. They really stuck with a certain style that looks to me like they were just pulled out of a toy box. They look like toys, and I find that aesthetically pleasing. But there are moments when you see like Rabbid Kong, who's a big boss running around, and he's covered in fur, and the fur physics on him are wonderful. And it's just, oh, I love it. I love it so much. There's also a lot of humor in this game too, which really works for me. You don't really see a lot of Mario games using humor, and if they do use humor, it's often dry humor. But this one was actually pretty funny. There was several occasions where it had me laughing. Like, there's a point where you see a statue of a rabbit on a toilet, and it says the artist calls this building a log cabin, and it's hilarious. And I was watching my friend Brandon on the Break Room Arcade. If you haven't checked them out, feel free to check them out. I have a thing up in the corner over here or over there, whichever way. I didn't notice the names of the weapons until there was a Shell Out of Hell, I think it was, and I'm just like, that's in a Mario game? Whoa, Nintendo, Ubisoft, what have you done? Given the RTS style this game presents itself as, each character has their own skill trees that you can upgrade. Like I said, you can actually upgrade for each character to have 2 separate weapons. One, their gun, their long range weapon, and the other is like their mines or their hammers that you can upgrade, and you can buy more weapons like that. Mario and Luigi have this ability where if an enemy moves on the screen and you have this ability activated, you can actually shoot them while they're moving to get the upper hand, or maybe finish a battle sooner. Rabbid Peach can heal people and make a bubble to protect herself from enemy damage. There's a bunch of different things that can be upgraded, like besides your abilities, you can even upgrade your dash and your team jump or enemy jump to get some crazy combos going, and it's so satisfying to do. And if you end up not liking what you've made for your character, or the skills you've picked for your character, you can just erase them and start all over again, and I really like that. And you can do that not in the middle of a battle, but before a battle begins. You can switch out which characters you want to use, and you can change their skills depending on how you want to take this fight. And I really like this because it makes the game not easier, but more user-friendly. I think the only gripe that I'm having with the game so far is actually how cutscenes are presented. If you click a text box too soon, characters have a tendency to clip or cut depending on which position they're in. It's very subtle, and I don't know why they did this, but it kind of bothers me. Another thing is slowdown. I didn't actually run into a lot of it while I was playing in battles, but I noticed like when the game was trying to load a separate, like some stuff in the world, it did slow down a little bit, but it kicked right back in pretty quick. So those are the only gripes that I really have with the game. Everything else is actually stunning, and I could talk for hours and hours about this game. Each individual thing that I could talk for hours on this, but I don't really want to because I only have a certain amount of time with this. Another thing is there's amiibo support. I guess you can use the Mario amiibos to get certain things, like certain weapons and stuff. I'm not sure if it unlocks characters or not. I don't really have any of the Mario amiibos anymore. Plus there's co-op. I haven't had a chance to try co-op yet, but from what I understand, it's basically one person gets to pick two characters while the other person gets to pick two characters, and they just do battles and stuff. And if I had more friends up here, I'd definitely like to show that off, but I don't. I think this game would also really benefit from an online multiplayer edition. There's really not one in the game right now, and Ubisoft, honestly, I think if you really wanted to, you could try and do some online multiplayer. I think that would be amazing, so I could play with like some of my buddies on the Switch, because I think this would be fun co-op wise with someone from across the world. But I don't really know that because I haven't tried the co-op with a buddy. But yeah, I think an online multiplayer portion would be good to have in this game. But I'd like to hear from you guys. What did you think of the Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle when you first saw it, or if you actually own it? What do you think of the game so far? And if you're looking to get a Switch, is this a game you're going to be putting on that console? Is this going to be a part of your collection? Let me know in the comment section down below. With that being said, I want to thank everybody for clicking on this video and giving it a watch. If you like what I do on this channel, then feel free to hit that like button. And if you're brand new, why don't you subscribe and hit that little bell icon to be notified when I upload again. And with all that being said, I want to thank each and every one of you once again for watching, and I hope you all have a fantastic night, and take care. Bye-bye!